Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about growing your homegrown strawberries. Strawberries are extremely popular and they're very tasty and almost my most preferable fruit. I really love them and around my garden I have almost 200 of them. Today I'm going to show you different ways how to grow your own strawberries from seed, from shoots, or buying a completely developed plant from your own store. So let's begin. As I mentioned, as I mentioned earlier, there are basically three different steps how to grow your own strawberries. The easiest way is to start them from seed. This is a very good way to start your own strawberry, which is very resilient to your own climate, and you can easily create a lot of them in a very big volume. However, this is very time consuming because, as I will show you in the first year, when you plant the seed, it will take 1 or 2 years basically before the plant which you seeded to start developing its own fruit. Starting them from shoots, however, is completely different as the strawberry itself spreads a shoot which is like a branch but actually more of a root that plants into the ground, and from the plant there it starts to develop entirely independent plant. This plant can start producing fruit in the same year or so. Also, when you do this method, you need to have a bigger pot or a land and you need to have a lot of moisture for the shoot to start growing its own roots. The third option to raise your own strawberry plants is to get a developed crown from the store. This crown you will place it in the ground and you will expect to have strawberries perhaps in the first year or the second year. Downside of this method is because it's expensive, and for example in my region to get a single plant, strawberry plant, is around half a 50 cent US dollars or 40 euro cents. So if you're trying to develop a big garden with strawberry plants, it will get extremely expensive. So I will show you the three different methods I use in my garden, and in all of them I was successful, but I prefer creating my own seed and starting strawberries from shoots. So let's begin. I'm showing you right here now. This is my tray, a seeding tray. So when I try to start my strawberry plants, I start them in late winter, indoors. And as you see, this tray has a lot of room, and in a single pot of the tray, I place few strawberry seeds. As here, I have a single seed, so I just push it in the ground, no deep, and I cover it a little bit with soil. It's already moistured because I don't want to spread on top of the tree with water, because I will displace the seed, or possibly I will put it in the top. And if I do this, the seedling will die. So, few days after you plant the seeds, it depends on your seed how they grow. It will start to develop some leaves, as you see here. You see these little things? These are small strawberries. These are actually a week old. I planted them, yes, possibly 6 or 7 days ago, and later on they'll start to develop their true leaves. As you see here, this is a far bigger strawberry plant. This is 3 weeks old or a little bit more. And as you see, as you see here, you can distinguish the strawberry leaves. You see these edges? This is a strawberry leaf. And here, as I see, only one seedling survived. This here is another. As you see, the seedling is growing. And this one here, let me show it. This one here is a very good developed strawberry plant. There are here 2 strawberry seeds that germinated and started growing. So this is a month old. And you can tell it's very moisture here. And when you try to spray water, this implies to all homegrown fruits and vegetables from seeds, you should avoid spraying with water above, using a bucket or what so on. As you see, this tray is inside, a container or a pot, I don't know what it's called. And when you try to put water inside, you just put it inside the container. And from this container, from the bottom, the water will start building up, and the strawberry or any other plant will start to get moisture from there. So this is the easiest method And but the downside, as I said, it's very time consuming. And when I plant these, I will plant them late in the year where it's cool, and I'll start to have fruit next year or perhaps after 2 years. It all depends on the strawberry plant. Right here we have entire bush, entire section of my garden is covered with strawberries. These are all new strawberries. They are 2 years. Yes, for a strawberry, 2 years is considered to be quite new. And as you see, they're starting to spread shoots, and I'll show you in a second. This here is the strawberry flower. You can see the strawberry plant itself is very green. It's completely free of any, other greens or so on. It's fertilized. The soil is moisturized, and here, as you see, there is a little strawberry starting to develop. And for this single plant, you see, this is a single plant. I have 2 different shoots of fruit. So here I'll get 10 big strawberries, and these strawberries get quite big, as this much. And what I said about shoots, let me find the shoot here. Oh yes, there it is. This is a strawberry shoot. It's not a branch, it's not something to spread leaves. This thing is how they spread across this lawn. As you see, I planted them 2 years ago here, 4 plants maybe, and they really spread out evenly. They're even taking a lot of space of the lawn here. This shoot, let me show you. Once you have such a big developed plant, it will start spreading these shoots. This shoot, if it's left unattended, this here is a leaf. It will show some leaf, but when you try to develop some different kind of strawberry plants from it, you can put this in the ground. I can't do this right now with a single hand, but you just put it, as you see here, in the soil, a little bit in the soil, and you will cover it. Keep the soil moist. You should put a little bit more soil on top, in a good nutritional value, and in a matter of weeks, these were all grown from shoots. Look at this tiny strawberry plant. This year, as you see, there are no flower buds. It will not give me strawberries, but it's okay. I want it to develop good. And next year, it will turn like this one. This is the self-sufficient way of growing strawberries if you have the land, if you have the space. You can do this in a single pot, and if you want to avoid the strawberry to get big, to cover your entire ground, you can just cut this shoot. Actually, I don't need it, so I'll have to come back later and try to cut it off, because this is already all covered, and I need it not to suffocate, because they can really get into each other's ways. This here, as you see, there are yellow flowers. These are wild strawberries. They are much smaller, but they are very, very tasty. So I keep a different kind. So we are now back to my main strawberry garden. As you see here, there is a completely different way of planting the strawberries. These are all second year strawberries, and there are actually 3 different kinds of strawberries. My own seeds were grown last year, and when the strawberry plant actually developed to be a bit bigger, early in the spring, I placed them in the ground, and let me show you how they look like. Okay, this is a weed. This here is a little bit late. It's a strawberry plant. Look at how small it is, but there is actually a crown here. You put the crown with the buds on top of the soil, and everything else will just start to sprout. These are all the same kind. This here is actually it's a very strong strawberry plant. As you see, it already started to develop a lot of flowers. They're pollinated by bees, wasps, beetles, all kinds of insects.
is starting to go upright to avoid the moisture of the ground. And actually it's very important not to keep the ground with a lot of moist, because the strawberry, as you see here, there is a little strawberry. When it starts to develop its fruit, if left unattended in the ground, it will rot. So definitely avoid this. One way to deal with this, and I will try to do it later on, is to try and mulch it. As you see here, I have some mulch, but it's not enough. I have to make some more. And you put it below the strawberry plant. It will not suffocate it. It will not take away the nitrogen. And this way, the plant itself will remain dry. Another thing here, if you mentioned, is that they are built in trenches. This is an elevation here. This is done because previously, like I mentioned, to avoid overwatering your strawberry plants and to avoid rot. So putting them in the trenches, the plant is above, is to start develop its roots down below. And when I irrigate, this is my irrigation here, it will start to fill this one here with water. The plant will get the water from there, and on the top of the plant, it will remain dry. So this is the method I use here. And when I have some mulch available, I'll just spread it around and cover this entire section. But this will take me some time. So this year, here we'll have a lot of beautiful strawberry. So here in this patch of land, I grow around 50 plants of strawberries, 3 different kinds, and they are very susceptible to drying. So this is why I have this irrigation here. This irrigation is automatic, so every 2 days it will start, to spray some water. It will not flood them. The irrigation here is very good. And also keep in mind, I try to provide some nutrients, some potassium, phosphorus, and some nitrogen. So this is the lawn. 50 strawberry plants. These are actually quite enough for me and my family. But jams. I really love jams. Strawberry plants actually very prone to disease however, if you tend to them properly, if you care about them, they will be actually very resilient. What I mean is, if you keep them moist, as you see here, if you keep them moist, this leaf is actually covered in dirt. This is because I see the entire ground is actually very moist. This is because last night it had a very serious rainfall, and I will not irrigate this in a few days because I want everything just to evaporate. And as you know from some other of my videos, water, just a rainwater which actually stays in your ground actually helps develop fungi. The fungi attract pests, attract some insects, and this is actually very damaging to your plant. So irrigate, however, properly. Do not overwater, and you have perfectly wonderful plants. And also try to avoid weeds. Weeds take a lot of nutrients, a lot of water, and just try to avoid them. Very easy way to do this is by mulching. So mulching will help with weeds, and it will help with moisture retaining inside the soil, and it will prevent the plant from rotting and the strawberry plants in the strawberry fruit to rot. So these are these are the most important things which you need to consider yourself about strawberry plants. Let me show you something interesting. These are completely different strawberry plants. These are actually very old. These are 5 years, and they develop each year. As you see, they're very big. The leaves is more rigid, it's bigger, it's more greener. It's not light green. And the way you can tell a plant is old is by the fruit. and the presence of flowers. As you see in my previous lawn, the flowers were much more, and the plant itself was much smaller. As you see here, this is one plant and it has only a single flower. Oh no, there's some below, but it cannot compare with the new ones. So this one needs some rejuvenation. The way to do this is by finding shoots and removing some of the old ones and just renewing them each year a little bit. This way you have each year a complete new batch of strawberries. This year is new. Let me remove this plant here, this weed. Okay, developed from a shoot, as you see. It's from this year, and there are no fruits, there are no flowers. I don't know, maybe in a month it will develop, but for now it's just like that. So I leave it. I love this way. And let's look at the mulch around it. See, it's completely covered. It has moisture below the wooden chips, so this will develop over the years a completely new patch.
So this is for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the tour around my strawberry garden and the way I tend to them. Keep in mind the basic steps we need to follow about the strawberry plant. It's very easy to grow them in home pots in your garden. As you see, you can start it from seeds, you can start them from your own existing strawberry plants, you can buy from the store. It doesn't matter, it will always give you some decent strawberries. So keep in mind the ways you need to tend about your plants with watering, nutrients, sun, and also the way to multiply them. So thank you for watching today's video. Comment. Oh, sorry, didn't saw this hard. So thank you for watching today's video. So leave a like, comment, and see you next time.